guys, it's Danny Bell. I hope you guys are having an awesome day today so far. We are back on our Tropicore Island of Cocobelle, just doing an upgrade on the island itself. I am so excited, you guys. For anyone that missed the previous introduction video back to this island, this is actually an older island that we've had. I did showcase a couple of previous builds on the island back in the day, but we're just sort of running back and visiting the island after, gosh, close to a year. And after the 2.0 update, I didn't want to abandon this island. I wanted to upgrade it, redo a lot of the areas on the island, and yeah, so I figured for today we could probably start working on this section over here. I've moved the Cranny and Able sisters over here to this section, and what I'm thinking we can do with this area here is create a resort for the island. Now, obviously, this is a Tropicore island. My plan for the theme on the island is to sort of keep the front part of the island more like a resort town. I wanted to have some serious vacation vibes, but then sort of sprinkled throughout and the whole backside of the island, I want to be very jungle core-like and just a lot more wild and brambly with a lot of the tropical and jungle sort of themes mixed throughout. So let's take a look at the map, because if you missed the previous video, we actually did a villager hunt and it was so much fun getting to do a villager hunt on this island again. And I promised you guys that I would show you all of the villagers we currently have on Cocobelle, so here they are. We have a lot of cuties. Quinn was, of course, the 2.0 villager that we found on the last hunt, and I'm so excited. If you guys missed that video, please check it out. It was a ton of fun. We have Marina and we have Flora. I think those are definitely keepers for sure. As far as Claudia goes, I think I want to keep her, but I'm a little bit on the fence. So let me know what you guys think. Savannah, I think I love, but we'll have to see what happens. And then as far as Audie goes, I'm sort of on the fence. These other guys down here, for sure, it's Weil and Toby and Peanut, I'm thinking we definitely need to get rid of. So we still have a few villager hunts anyways coming up that we can do on the island, but let me know in the comments, guys, of our current villagers, who would you like to stay and who could you stand to see leave? And I really super appreciate all of the great, fantastic villager ideas that you guys listed in the villager hunt video for Dreamies. All right, so let's speed things up and get going. I'm really excited to get going on this build. Speaking of, Audie, how are you? She's so cute. I just love her, and I love her little sunglasses on her head. Even though she's a fox, she definitely has some tropical vibes for sure. All right, so what we're doing here in this section, I've laid down some sand in-game path because the idea that I wanted to do with this is keep some squares open so that we can plop some palm trees down. As you can see here, you have to have the in-game sand pathing down if you're going to be planting palm trees on your island that are not on the beach. So I've actually left the sand path here open for those trees, and I just think that having the sand path under this specific design, I wanted to do a tile design. For anybody that has visited the island previously, if you're interested in kind of comparing the before and afters, I'll be doing some before and after shots here at the end of the build video, but I wanted to do a different type of tile here in this area. Before we had a very vibrant, bright colored tile, I wanted to do something slightly more subdued. This tile in particular I really love because it has a few extra selected pieces. Aside from the main one here in the center, it has some of these pieces that sort of fit together to appear like a flower, and they have some see-through parts, so if you do have either grass or path underneath, it will show through, which is super cute in my opinion. I also wanted to place this little entrance from the beach to the resort using a little bit of the Zen fence and of course the shell arch, and then some of the bamboo grass as well for a little bit of a nice tropical sort of touch to it. Okay, so terraforming. So this section back here, you'll notice there's sort of a U shape back here. We have, basically it's a 3 by 6 square strips on each side, and then we have a connecting strip in between of those two structures that looks like it's about 2 by 4. And the idea behind this U shape is we're going to be putting our player house here in the middle. So we're basically creating this giant U shape and then leaving a 4 by 5 square area in the middle so that when we place the plot for our house, there's plenty of space for that. So we're sort of building that around this. I have found, because I've done this a couple of different ways, I found that if you do the terraforming and the build itself before placing the house, as long as you know it's going to have enough space where you can put the house itself, it's a lot easier to place these medieval building sides that we're going to be using. here before placing the house. So that would be my recommendation. I do like to put some of the custom path here on the top just because even though you can't completely see the floor, there are peaks of it that show through. And so I think adding a custom design tile here sort of just fills in the gaps for the design itself to make it look a little bit more realistic. So let's fill in with this tile. I really love this tile. Just like I always do, I will put the custom design code information in the description of the video for you guys. So if you're looking for a tile like this for your Tropicore island, or if you're just looking for something fun and bright for the summer, I will be sure to list that. Again, guys, I love the flower shaped option for this tile pattern. I just think it's really cute and creative, something kind of fun and whimsical for sure for something like this in the summer. Okay, so let's start placing items. There's going to be a lot of ladder climbing up and down with this build, so I do apologize, but it's totally worth it, I promise. We have a strand of the party lights here in the front. I opted for this color just because I think the red poles sort of match the roof for this medieval building side, and then the lights themselves have sort of a pink tone to them, which I think is going to be really stellar at night to go with the pink coloration that we're doing for the resort itself. So I'm just sort of working on placing the items, especially with items like this that look different on either side. It's very, very difficult to try to get the right angle when placing them, but if you know exactly where to climb and turn, basically you can fill in the gaps pretty easily. It's just a lot of climbing. I do recommend using a few extra squares here and there for lips so that you can climb up and down easily. We're going to demolish those at the end, but it's just going to make decorating a whole heck of a lot easier for you. We're also putting this item here in the middle just to kind of fill in the area. You don't have to if it's not an item you have available to you, but I just found it to be sort of a nice filler so that if you do get a picture or something like that from above, it looks a little bit more tidy for the build itself. For this particular build, I'm filling in the center with the Tacoma item. I chose it in the white because I thought it would blend the best with this specific build, but if you chose to do your resort in a different color, there's definitely a lot of other color options available for these items that I think you could mix and match together to make it exactly how you want it for your island. Okay, so we have both of these sides together. Now we need to put some along the back here. Now this part is tricky. It's a lot of maneuvering, but if you can just place them forward, we're just basically gonna have to go around, shove everything forward once we're done, and then we'll end up demolishing this back row once we've used the lip itself to sort of get everything in place. So we're gonna climb down and then, like I said, climb up the back, shove everything forward, and then this back space, you can either choose to demolish it or you can end up just putting a little bit of fencing, something like that if you want to be fancy and decorate it. This part is not really going to be visible for us as far as how the resort is situated on Cocobelle, so I'm probably just going to go back through and demolish the squares themselves, but you could do it really either way, whatever you choose to do for how you want to decorate the back side of your resort itself. It would probably be really cute if you had the space to create a pool area back here, a place where your vacationers can hang out by the pool, get a drink, a little juice bar, something like that would be super adorbs on the back side of the resort. I think that we'll probably do a lot of those types of builds on the front beach part of this area once we get to that. My hope is that in the next few videos we can sort of work on decorating the cranny and Able Sisters, and then of course put some decorations on the front beach. Okay, so we have the basis of the resort here for the top second tier layer. I really, really love how this turned out. I think that having everything in this little shape is going to be very convincing once we can get our house placed, but we need to sort of surround this with some more medieval building sides. I really love the pink, guys. Pink is my favorite color, so of course I couldn't resist. I think yellow would look really awesome as well, and then the blue is a really, really beautiful Caribbean type of blue shade that would be perfect for a tropical type of island. So yeah, really loving the concept of this here. All right, so we're just placing a couple more of the medieval sides here on either side of the resort. And as you can see, it's sort of all coming together. It's looking more and more like a resort. And let me get the camera out just so you can kind of get a better view. All right, now we're going to be placing some simple panels. So these have a custom design on it. I love this little window. I think that this window is pretty convincing as far as matching the windows on the medieval building sides themselves. They look a little bit less jail-like just because I feel like this wall in particular, just I don't know what it is about the jail bars. I'm sure it's not meant to look like that, but that's just sort of what it looks like to me, I guess. But I think using the simple panels just adds a little bit more detail. And then this cute door. I love this little tropical door. I think it's going to be very versatile for the island. And since we are limited on the number of custom design squares, I do try to pick designs that are reusable basically in other areas of the island. then we've topped this area off with a couple of the wooden partitions in white. You could choose to use this or not. I think it adds a little bit to sort of create the look of a faux balcony. And then using these columns, these decorative columns with the shell lamps on top, I'm really excited with how posh this is going to make this area look, along with a nice glow for the evening. All right, so we're just gonna run over to resident services. I just need to grab a kit real quick for our player house, and then we will go ahead and place that, and we'll time hop to the next day so that you guys can see what it looks like all put together, and then we'll add a few little finishing touches, but we're nearly there, guys. All right, so we're gonna place our moving kit. Try to, when you're doing this, get it completely backed up to the cliff where you have it. And of course, once you get it situated, it is gonna delete a few of your tiles, but you can totally put them back the next day. Okay, let's check it out. Yay, I love it. Okay, so I did recustomize our house. I chose the shape only because I think, first of all, the coloration options. This was definitely the one that was the closest pink to sort of tie everything together. And the roof option, I think, looks the closest to the tops of these medieval building sides. But how cute is this? I also love the pointy shape of this. It sort of reminds me of a sandcastle, but also I think it allows you to be able to see a little bit more of the roof line behind it too. The other two more boxy options sort of blocked everything off. So I think this turned out pretty cute considering. Let's put out a few more little things. I'm thinking we can put out these party lights here now that we have our house in place. Yes, I think this is going to be really cute at night once we get this situated. And then just to add a little bit more glow, let's put a couple of palm tree lamps down. I really like this item, and I think customizing in the pink is going to be perfect for this. And then once we have these placed, I'll actually time hop to the night briefly, just for a few seconds, so you can see what it looks like at night, because I think a lot of these builds, when they are shown at night, can look totally different than how they look during the day. So let's get these fixed here. Yes, I love it. What do you guys think? I hope you'll try this build for yourselves. I'm really excited with how this is going to come together. I think it's really cute. It just looks really grand and inviting. Our plan is to sort of decorate the interior of the house itself to look like a resort with a few different rooms and amenities, things like that. So I'm really excited with how it's going to come together. And like I said, you could totally try this in a few different options. If you did this build with the blue medieval sides, you could totally switch everything to more of a blue tone, including the palm tree lamps, which I think would be really stellar. Now these little areas over here we'll have to decorate. I'm thinking we'll work on that next time when we sort of decorate the front area with working on the cranny and the Able Sisters area down by the beach. But yeah, I just wanted to walk around the building one more time so you could sort of get a little bit of a view on how it looks from all sides. I'm really excited with how this came together. It makes me really happy, and I think that being able to 2.0 a lot of the areas on this island definitely breathe new life into this place. I really love this island, and I'm so thankful that you guys are choosing to come on the journey with me to sort of overhaul and redo this area. I think it's one of the things that a lot of us are choosing to do these days now that there's so much to recatalog, so much to redo. So if you're considering either restarting or just sort of flattening your island, I do have a video out there to help you sort of weigh the options, so please check that out if you missed it. But let's get another view of this before we finish up for the day. Yes, let's get out the camera. Do you guys love this new camera angle? I totally adore it. I think it's so fantastic to be able to see this. I'm really hopeful that in the future we'll maybe get like a 360-degree camera angle. That would be fantastic. I know it probably won't happen for New Horizons, but who knows, maybe in a new Animal Crossing titled game they would give us a full 360 view of everything, because that would be amazing. All right, let's book up here one more time so you can take a peek at it, and then, like I said, we'll kind of trim out these other areas on either side by the cranny and Able Sisters for our next Let's Play or Build video. But I do want to time hop to evening because I want to kind of see how this glows in the nighttime. Yay! I think my favorite part of this, honestly, I really like the simple panels with the little windows and doors. I think that makes a huge difference. All right, here it is at night. Love the glow. Check out the stars in the background. I think it's going to be great. I like to try to find builds that work really well for the daytime and nighttime, but yeah, really happy with how this came together. I hope you guys will give this build a try for yourselves on your island, or a version of it to make it your own. I always love to see what you guys have been up to, and I absolutely adore to see how your version of these builds on the channel come together for you. So find me on Instagram at Peppy Crossing Play and tag me if you attempt this build. I'd love to see it. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Wishing you all an amazing day. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.